I'll let you start.
Camera rolling?
Action.
So it's Robbie and Randy?
That's correct.
Okay.
Right.
And now, what film did you guys do?
It's called the Gulf Islands, Mississippi's Wilderness Shore.
Okay. And what are you dealing with here? What issue are you dealing with?
Well, this was a companion piece to come out in time with the Ken Burns series about national parks
Okay.
in the United States. And we wanted to make a local companion piece focusing on a national park in Mississippi. And we picked the barrier islands off the coast of Mississippi to focus on.
Okay, is this off near Biloxi?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what made you want to do this? What was the inspiration for coming up with this film and shooting it?
Well, we wanted to show the beauty of the four barrier islands, the offshore barrier islands off the coast of Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to talk about how those islands were placed in protection, preserved by being placed in National Park Service ownership. We wanted to tell the story of how that happened, who was involved in that story. We wanted to tell how people enjoy the islands, go out to the islands.
Now, how far are they off the coast?
Roughly, the four islands are roughly 10 to 15 miles off the coast.
Okay, so can you see them if you're on the mainland? Can you see
If
them?
it's a clear day.
If it's a clear day? Okay. And now, did you run into any obstacles or anything tough while you were filming, or was it pretty smooth sailing?
It was pretty smooth sailing. People on the Mississippi Gulf Coast love and enjoy the islands. They're very treasured. So we had a lot of support, cooperation. People talked to us. Randy did a lot of the technical, obviously the filming and the aerials, which were a big part of the movie. So I don't know if you want to talk about
So now,
that.
did you get up in a helicopter or airplane?
Yeah, that's something I specialize in is aerial cinematography.
Okay.
I'm a West Cam and Tyler cinematographer.
Okay.
So that's something I specialize in, and that we felt like that would bring a lot to the piece. At first, when they started shooting, that was not part of the process. But then, after we saw the cut, I was like, we really need to get some aerials of the islands. So I basically worked out a deal with a friend of mine in Hawaii that owns a West Cam system. We brought that in, and I did all of that, the aerial part of it, and then I shot some of the other aspects of the film.
That's got to be some beautiful footage.
Yeah, it was. It was one of those things where it was really just God bless us. I mean, the lighting and the days were perfect because usually, when we were shooting, the humidity is so bad, so it can be very the photography can be very murky.
Okay.
But we just really lucked out. We just got some great photography.
That is great. Now, are the people in Mississippi and the people that are keeping an eye on these islands, are they seeing any effects from global warming that you think? Or?
Well, of course, sea level change is an issue that people aren't visually seeing yet, but people are very aware of it and concerned about it and studying it. And of course, there are staff at the Gulf Islands National Seashore that are tied in with the National Park Service, and of course, they're monitoring and playing their role in that type of scientific study and survey. So,
and Hurricane Katrina had a lot to do with destructing a lot of the islands. It was a lot of destruction to the islands.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Now, has the island come back? I mean, has it rebounded from
the storm surge in Katrina off the coast of Mississippi was in some places 30 to 40 feet. So that means these islands, which took the brunt of the hurricane, were practically totally underwater, maybe just treetops showing.
Wow.
And so, really, as part of our film, we talk about people's reactions to that. People didn't know in Mississippi whether those islands would be gone or not after Katrina.
Well, they would even come back.
That's right, but they were there, and
they did survive.
So the water level came back down. The islands were there.
Right.
And how's the vegetation doing after being submerged?
Now, 5 years later, it's come back really well, but there was a lot of saltwater damage to the trees. The animal and wildlife has come back on a lot of the islands, except one of the islands, Cat Island. The only thing that's come back are the raccoons. There are no deer, there are no wild boar. They were totally destroyed. So it's interesting to see what's come back.
Now, do you know if they're trying to reintroduce any of these species to the island?
No, they're letting that happen naturally. There's no human reintroduction, to my knowledge.
Wow. So, do you feel like you're gonna? Is this something you're gonna follow up with and keep track of these islands and how things are going to change. Hopefully not much
Right.
over time.
Right. Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, interestingly, barrier islands naturally migrate and move. They move westward. Sand erodes from the eastern tips of these islands. You would think the Gulf Stream would take it the other way, but
Right.
actually tidal currents take sand off the eastern tips of these islands and naturally moves it around.
Drop it.
What we talk about in our film is that natural occurrences like hurricanes, but also human activities such as channelization for ship channels and things of that nature, cause the islands to erode at a quicker than natural state. So one of the things we address, and I think we'd like to follow up on, or at least I would, from an interesting story standpoint, is what activities are happening now to help that migration of sand westward occur at more of a natural rate than faster than natural.
Because the islands are actually moving to Florida, right? They're actually moving towards the Florida coastline.
Hold on one second.
Oh yeah, I had it roped off.
And now, do you feel like there's a lot of development along the coast that's going to impact these islands in Mississippi?
Well, for one of the biggest things that happened in the last 20 years were casinos coming to the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great fear at that time. Some of that's been realized that was going to cause massive build-up, development, impact on our natural resources. That happened to a certain extent, but Katrina struck such a devastating blow to human development on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Not so much natural things there, but it's a dramatically different place than what it was before Katrina. 250,000 homes were destroyed. So people are just now sort of coming back from a devastating hurricane. I think what we're seeing is an influx of money for federal money for natural systems, for ecosystems, for restoration, for land protection. So although that devastation to the human population there was devastating from Katrina, I believe that one of the positive results has been attention and money to a lot of our natural systems, which has been a benefit.
Yeah. One thing people don't realize is that really the Mississippi Gulf Coast received the most brunt of the damage, not New Orleans.
Wow.
But the media didn't cover that. More people were homeless in Mississippi than New Orleans.
Wow, did not know that.
I mean, the tidal surge 40 feet went in 10 miles.
Into Mississippi.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, at one time they had all of these old antebellum homes and everything that was on the coast, and they're completely gone.
And we were able to get footage from WLOX, which is a local television station that Randy and I, when we were editing, were able to go in and put before and after footage, immediate footage of Katrina.
Wow.
And why the media didn't cover it that way, I don't know, but it really affected the Gulf Coast more really than New Orleans. I guess because of New Orleans being the city that it is, it just got more of a national claim.
Now, do you see in the people of Mississippi an increased awareness for the environment?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think Katrina definitely opened eyes, because before that, Hurricane Camille in '69 had been the benchmark. Nothing will ever be as bad as Camille. Katrina was much, much worse, much, much worse. And I think that I believe that the people we encountered making this documentary, are very much aware of the barrier islands' roles and the importance of our natural ecosystems and systems there along the coast for what they do for storm surge.
Yeah.
Marsh areas along the Mississippi Gulf Coast absorb and slow down that storm surge.
Yeah, if it wasn't for these barrier islands, the coast would have been completely wiped out. They're like sort of like, I guess, safety nets for the the Gulf Coast.
So the tree huggers aren't just in Los Angeles and Seattle anymore.
No, I mean it's that's where the media never plays that up correctly, and I don't know why that is. people there are a lot more into that than the media makes it out.
Well, with you guys film and the Going Green Film Festival, we'll change that. Hey, we really appreciate you guys sitting down and talking with us.
Sure.
Thank
and
you.
Good luck with your film.
Thanks so
Well, we
much.
appreciate being here, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
Thank you.